So, previous class we discussed about human heart. So now I'm explaining the circulatory system consists of three parts. Already I said heart, blood vessels. About heart I said. Now blood. Blood it is a fluid connective tissue. Blood it is a fluid connective tissue which consists liquid parts and solid parts. So liquid parts when you take mainly plasma and serum. So solid parts when you take there will be three types of cells we can see. Those are red blood cells, white blood cells, blood platelets. So the composition when you take blood. So the blood definition is the fluid connective tissue. The fluid connective tissue. So blood in which plasma contain 55%, 1% are the leukocytes, and the remaining 44% are erythrocytes. So 55% is only plasma occupies in the blood. So plasma is a liquid portion of the blood. It is an intercellular fluid which consists chemical substances like proteins, fats, clotting factors, organic, inorganic substances. It keeps liquid medium to the blood so that it helps to the transport of materials from one place to the another place along with blood cells. So plasma we can see before clotting of the blood. As usual it is present along with the blood cells, the liquid portion. Whereas let us take another important one, serum. Serum is a yellowish color formed after clotting of the blood. Whenever we injured from that place, blood bleeding. After stopping of blood bleeding, this small droplet of yellow colored bubble we can see on that injured part. That is called serum. So now let us take the blood cells. Generally, blood cells are called, we have to call the corpuscles. So they are different. Now we are comparing with the other cells. Blood cells are different. So that we are calling as corpuscles. So there will be three types of blood cells we can see, or corpuscles we can see. So erythrocytes, leukocytes, blood platelets. Erythrocytes are also called red blood cells. Why they are in red color? Because of they have a pigment, hemoglobin pigment. So these erythrocytes because of having hemoglobin pigment, it is responsible for transportation of food materials and waste materials, hormones and other chemical substances from one place to the another place. Because of having hemoglobin, mainly it carry the oxygen and carbon dioxide from one place to the another place. RBC, that is red blood cells, also called red blood corpuscles, also called erythrocytes. they are biconcave in shape. They are biconcave in shape. So they do not have nucleus. That is the most important. If you take any cells, they must have the nucleus. But the red blood cells do not have the nucleus. Because of not having the nucleus, they have irregular movement. Even they pass in narrow blood vessels also. So the main function of erythrocytes to transportation of food materials, excretory materials, gases like oxygen and carbon dioxide, and hormones, so that it acts as a medium of transport. So the lifespan of the red blood cells or the red blood corpuscles 120 days. So the production of RBC is called erythropoiesis. The production of RBC is called erythropoiesis. So whenever in our body, if RBC are not produced in sufficient quantity, it leads to anemia. It leads to anemia. So anemia is a disease condition where the red blood cells are decreased. Particularly, red blood cells means hemoglobin pigment is reduced. Generally, in males, the hemoglobin percent is 14 mmHg, whereas in females, 8 mmHg. This is the appropriate percentage of hemoglobin in males and females. If it is less than, it leads to a problems and leads to anemia. So nothing but we are calling as a loss of blood. So this is about erythrocytes. Next, go to the leukocytes. So leukocytes are also called white blood cells. So they are do not have the hemoglobin pigment. That is the reason they are white in color. The lifespan of the WBC 12 days, 12 to 13 days. So WBC are divided into two types. Some of the WBC have sand-like particles in them. They are called granules. Those cells are called granulocytes. Whereas some of the WBC, they do not have any granules. They are called agranulocytes. So once again, WBC are two types: granulocytes, agranulocytes. So granulocytes are three types: acidophils, basophils, neutrophils. So these acidophils, basophils, neutrophils, compare with these three granulocytes, neutrophils are more in number because of they participate in immunity, in which way means removal of DCO, means disease causing organisms. So whenever the DCO is enter in our body, they immediately act on them and kill them. Because of immediately responding neutrophils, the neutrophils generally called as a microscopic policeman of the body. So which white blood cells are called microscopic policeman of the body means neutrophils. Why? Because they are first line of defense. Whenever DCO means disease causing organisms are entered to your body, they may act and invade and kill them. So when we take the agranulocytes are two types: monocytes, lymphocytes. So compare with all the cells, blood cells, that is blood corpuscles. Monocytes are the largest cells or biggest cells. They are also participate in the immunity. So lymphocytes, when we compare with all the blood cells or corpuscles, lymphocytes are smallest cells. So lymphocytes are main important cells. They participate in immunity, 99% in immunity. Which cells means lymphocytes. They are the smallest blood cells in the blood. Lymphocytes, there are two types, B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes. So next, another kind of blood cells are blood corpuscles. They are blood platelets, the BPL briefly, and they are called as a thrombocytes. Thrombocytes. These irregular in shape, they have short lifespan, and they important role in our body to clot the blood while bleeding due to injuries. Whenever we injured, the blood bleeding from the injuries, up to 6 minutes, it must be stopped. So this is because of blood platelets. So blood platelets involved in the clotting blood in the that is in the region of injury. So because of fibrin is the most important material which forms net-like structure in the injured part and form clot and prevent the bleeding of blood. So this is about three kinds of blood cells: red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles, blood platelets. And when these about so what is the main function of the blood? When you take the function of the blood is mainly when you take all types of blood cells, so particularly red blood cells, because of their having hemoglobin pigment, they carry oxygen and carbon dioxide one place to the another place, and also it acts as a medium of transport of hormones, food materials, waste materials from one place to another place. When you take the WBC means white blood cells are corpuscles. They are also called leukocytes. They participate in the immunity and also destroy the DCO. DCO means disease causing organism. So thrombocytes, third kind of blood cells, they are also called blood platelets. They participate in the clotting of blood during injuries while bleeding. So this is about a brief description about blood.